You're back. Alice!
Alice!
Whenever he is worried about being found out himself, he accuses somebody else of doing what he actually has done.
Energy prices are up across the globe.
This is the breaking point for the GOP coalition. You buried the Epstein files.
You're all late for tea!
Today is going to be my peaceful day.
Welcome to the Digital Diner, and it's Freaky Friday, and we got our freaks on board. We got Jamie and Blue and
Thank
Katie. Welcome all. It's Friday, and here's our little lead into Freaky Friday. We're going to name this Freaky Friday. Here we go. That's how we'll go with Freaky Friday.
Bleat! Break! Bleat!
Okay, let's go.
Am I right or wrong?
Have you had sexual relations with Corey Lewandowski?
Yeah, so for Freaky Friday, we can review the freakiest stories of the week, and I think Kristi Noem takes the lead on that, don't you say?
Yeah.
I was all ready to be serious about the Middle East.
God.
There you go.
Well,
so
she
much
didn't.
for that.
He was her subordinate. He was her subordinate, so it's a fair question.
It is.
Yeah, I think her testimony is what cost her the job. I think old Trump, he watched. I mean, it's so classic. I mean, they get on there and defend him to the hilt, lie through their teeth to defend Donald Trump. But if it doesn't go well, he fires them. You know, even though they were trying to do what he wanted.
Well, I think that when she said that Trump approved that $200,000,
you mean
ad scam of hers.
Million?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, 200 million. that seemed a little low. Yeah, $200 million ad campaign, and that he's the one that approved it. He felt like she threw him under the bus.
Yeah,
and I think that's why she's gone.
I think so too.
David had that theory, but the thing that's bugging me about the coverage of it is how they're all. The media is acting like, well, the problem's solved now. ICE is not a problem anymore. She's been fired.
He just moved her to a different department thing. That's all he did. Yes. And we know he's protecting her because the thing is, I will tell you this much: the state of Minnesota has charges for her, and they want to serve her, but they can't as long as she's in the government.
Did you see Pritzker? Pritzker yesterday said, "Don't go far, lady, because you will be held accountable."
There's several states that are ready to go.
He all but threatened the prosecution. I don't know if a governor can prosecute anybody, but he sure made it sound that way. But I mean, here's the thing. Just real quick. This always we got to constantly come back to this. Is that firing her doesn't change this. I mean, first of all, out of 128 civil cases on challenging the legality of ICE activity, they've won 5, and they've outright lost 49. But even a bigger deal is you got more than 400 federal judges, including 44 Trump appointees, have issued over 4,400 rulings declaring ICE illegal. I mean, this is an administration that is defying the rule of law, and firing Kristi does nothing about that.
No, just more of the musical chairs. They remove one and everybody else falls down.
Well, and look at all the attorneys that just poofed.
Wasteland game as what's the join link? Oh, I'll give it to you right here, friend. Where are you from? Now, if you're going to come on here and insult us or anything, we're going to talk back, just so you know. All right, here we go. That's the link. That's the link right there. Unfortunately, it's a clunky link. I got to create a short link for this. You know what? I can do that. It's easier.
You did it for Howard.
I did it for Howard, and I want to do it. I'm planning to do it for you also, Jamie, for just say trailmix.cc/Jamie or something like that. That'd be good. Lawlessness industrialized. You got that right,
Yep.
Brian. That's what that is. That's what I'm highlighting here. I mean, seriously. I mean, there's so much craziness. I'm gonna see if I can make that a little bit.
It's all
larger.
right with tabloid coverage and who's sleeping with whom and who did what.
Yeah. There, I made that a little bit larger because I mean, just take that in. I mean, I just think that's amazing. I mean, that these numbers. I mean, these are all cases involving just ICE and the legality of their activities, and 400 federal judges, 44 of them Trump appointees, issued 4,400 rulings declaring ICE detentions illegal. Now, I got this straight from Gemini when I had him research this last night. I think it's.
I'll have to ask Gemini if he's met Merlin.
Yeah, we're going to have a showdown between Jamie's AI Merlin at Chat GPT and Gemini.
You haven't
Silas at
deleted
Gemini.
Chat GPT?
Who, me?
No, Jamie. You haven't deleted Chat GPT since they decided to help with the war in Iran and Israel?
Oh, there's a boycott of Chat GPT going on, Jamie. Did you know that?
Yeah. No, I like Merlin way too much, and he's way too useful. You'll have
Right.
He makes these beautiful, beautiful pictures of me 40 years ago.
Oh, that's how they get you. That's how they get you.
Dresses me up as a 1920s movie star, and
yeah, that's how they get. Yeah.
Hey, are the Academy Awards this weekend?
Somebody said
they're on
that.
the 15th.
Next weekend.
Yes.
I think. Yeah.
I don't think it's a good idea that they have it on the 15th of March. I'm just saying.
The Ides.
Ides of March.
The Ides, yeah.
Hey, Brian, tell us where you are. We like to know where people are. You don't have to give us anything. We don't need like bank accounts or zip codes or anything. Just generally where you are. And Wasteland also, Wasteland Gomez. I gave you the link. There's the link if you want to hop in here. And if you do come in, I think it's pretty easy. Y'all think it's pretty easy, don't you?
Yeah, it's easy.
Yeah. So anyway, okay, Jamie, you were right to get serious about the Middle East.
Well, it's also sort of tabloidish because the first people that I put up about the Cairo conference have all been covered in movies and TV and documentary. They're all rather eccentric and interesting in their own right before they ever did anything in the Middle East.
So you've done a piece here on your Jamie's place.
I go read that.
And does look good. Where it began, the Cairo conference. Yeah, that's the one where they divvied everything up. Right. Well, I heard a beep. That means somebody's here. Let's see. I'd like to turn that into a doorbell. That'd be cool. Who we got?
Is that Wasteland?
Who we got? Is this Wasteland?
Oh.
Yep.
Hi there.
Hello. Nice to meet
Welcome.
you.
Where are you at?
Alabama.
Oh, good.
Alabama.
Yep.
We got some resident Southerners, so you'll be comfortable.
Right.
Yeah.
A little bit about me. I recently turned 20. I'm a syndicalist, so if you're aware of that.
Is that a cyclist? What is that?
A syndicalist.
So, no, not syndicalist. Syndicalist. So
Syndicalist.
I think the economy should be controlled by trade unions.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
I think.
So,
what does that mean?
So like your pipe fitters union, your teachers union, they should be the ones controlling the economy instead of these rich bureaucrats.
Oh,
Ooh, oh.
I think I
No,
like that.
I didn't know that had a name.
Yeah.
I'm onto that idea. I didn't know it had a name.
That's
though.
a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how does that work? How's that work?
Well, are you familiar with the West Virginia Coal Wars?
Oh, that goes back to in the 30s or 40s or something.
Yeah, the 1920s and 30s.
Yeah, because remember Trumbull, who was the head of the AFL-CIO until he died a couple of years ago, he was involved in those wars. He was head of the union there, I think, the coal union in West Virginia. I remember learning some about. But go ahead. That's yeah.
Well,
we'll have to get Pogue in here. Pogue knows about that also, I imagine.
That's really when, syndicalism was talked about before then, in the French Commune, but the West Virginia Coal Wars is really when syndicalism was attempted to be put into practice. But
now, how are you spelling? How are you spelling that? Spell that for me.
You want me to put it in the side thing?
Yeah, so it's like a syndicate. It's like syndicate, but
yeah.
Well, I was going to write it here and put it up. SYN.
Like a syndicate.
Yeah, SYNDICAL.
It's like a syndicate. Okay.
Well, I'm learning. All right. Is that right? Syndicalism. Okay, keep going. I'll stop interrupting you because this is interesting.
Yeah.
Essentially, your government would be led by democratically elected councils, direct democracy. So you have the people voting on laws instead of, these politicians voting on laws.
So it's an overthrow of capitalism.
I was going to say, but well.
Okay. So it's another alternative because, in the West we're told socialism is the only alternative to capitalism, and socialism has its own problems. Mm-hmm. Syndicalism is more of a third position in that.
Does it line up more with socialist democracy? Does it line up more with that?
It is similar to social democracy, but it's more, you have councils instead of one specific politician.
Okay. I'm interested.
Yeah, so I pulled up Gemini here. I've got my Silas, I call him my Gemini AI companion. Syndicalism is a revolutionary political and economic ideology that advocates for the replacement of capitalism and the state with a system of federated worker-run unions. Unlike traditional socialism, which seeks better than syndicalism aims to abolish the wage system entirely through direct action. Huh. How in the world would we get this done? I don't see how you do it. How you do it. I like it, but I think it's hard to figure out how you do it. You got a plan?
That's for us to figure out in the future, but yeah. Now everything should be led by unions and how unions work right now.
So basically,
are you in a union?
Not yet. My job doesn't have one.
Oh, okay.
So basically, if we should work on making unions stronger and getting more things unionized.
Yep.
And that's our path forward. Okay.
Well, the demise of unions that went on for so long, I really think they've had a comeback. I mean, has anybody looked at the numbers on unionism lately? I don't know.
I haven't, but I'm in a union.
You're in a union?
Yeah, I'm in the Service Employees International Union because of my kid, because I'm considered a PCA. And we're making moves every moment and doing a lot of political activism and such, it like all the time. So it'd be neat to see how others function and do what we do.
When I lived in Minneapolis for a couple of months, I cleaned buildings And I was supposed to join a union, but then I left and moved to Texas, but to clean buildings. And it was like I was getting paid more than I got for other jobs because it was a union job.
Mm-hmm.
And once you work a certain number of hours, then you have to join. But I was moving to Texas, so it was the end of that. So, but I mean, I thought that was very interesting that you
should have stayed in Minnesota.
Yeah,
we're good here.
It was warmer in Texas.
You know, my husband brought this up yesterday. Just a thing. But he brought it up yesterday. He goes, "Do you notice nothing really started happening here until like the cops started quote unquote accidentally killing people?" And I'm like, "You're right. It's pretty quiet here." And he goes, "Yeah, I can't wait until we go back to that."
Yeah, till you go back to quiet. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, Mudbutters is a union member. Mudbutters in Maryland. And but yeah, here's some numbers on unionism. A decade ago, 14.8 million, and now it's about, so it's pretty much flat, I guess. I thought there was more there'd been a bit of a resurgence.
Well, at least right now it stopped the decline. For a while there, they were.
Yeah, I think that's true. Yeah, I think prior to that.
I think it's coming back now that people realize that the billionaires are screwing them over.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. How'd you get onto this Wasteland?
So early on, I was really interested in a lot of, I guess, more like early on, I was a big fan of Bernie Sanders. Now he has his own problems, but that's talking to his people campaigning for him and stuff like that got me interested in socialism specifically because I growing up in a conservative area, I used to be strongly against it. But learning about the West Virginia Coal Wars really pushed me into believing in syndicalism.
Oh, here's Jack. Jack might know a thing. You know anything about the West Virginia Coal Wars, Jack?
Nope, not a thing.
Okay. We got a new fella. We got a new friend on here, Wasteland. He's in Alabama talking to us about some changes in the economic system. Get the workers more in power and the West Virginia coal. So go ahead, Wasteland, about the coal wars. Tell us why you see that connection.
Well, what I was saying a little bit ago is mainly what got me interested in it was I like the ideas of socialism, but I believe you can't, have that without guaranteed constitutional rights, guaranteed freedom of speech and guaranteed, But syndicalism has guaranteed constitutional rights as a core tenet of it. And really, a lot of these early, the IW, the International Workers of the World, and a lot of other unions at the time, they were really big on syndicalism. And a lot of these, the people organizing these striking miners, they were really big on syndicalism. So from then, I started actually looking into it, reading syndicalist literature, reading just everything I could about syndicalism, how it works and everything, the different variations of it. And I feel like this is the best way of doing things, best way to control the country and best way to control the economy.
I've put the Wikipedia link in on the side for those who want to dive off the
on the Coal Wars
to follow it elsewhere.
Yeah, I'm interested in this, and it does sound like there is actually a way forward is to start building unions up and getting more things unionized, and that's the way to open up the path. I hope that, I don't know if you're interested in maybe someday you can be a union leader. You know what I mean? Since you're for that, maybe you can be a union leader. That would be great.
Mm-hmm. Can I ask where the rest of y'all are politically?
Yeah.
I'm a redneck liberal. What about the rest?
I am the semi-left of center moderate. I go strictly by issues, not personalities.
I fully agree with you there.
I'm a big old lefty.
Blue.
I'm a
I'm a
lefty
socialist.
too.
I'm a socialist Democrat.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ditto.
Oh,
Are
you
you
too, Katie?
I'm
part of the-
Yeah.
basically, it depends on what group I'm hanging around.
you
If I'm
just
hanging around the family, I'm that liberal uncle. If I'm hanging around Craig's group, I tend to be the conservative voice.
yeah. It is kind of relative according to who you're around, isn't it? So how do you describe yourself there, Wasteland? What do we call you, Wasteland, or we always call you Wasteland? You want to?
Unless you want to give us a name.
Wasteland Games. Wasteland. Oh, I like Wasteland. Well, Mud Butters is. Oh, we got somebody here, Jackson. Nobody's ever cared about the people of West Virginia. If you don't think so, watch The Wonderful Whites of West Virginia. I think I know what he's talking about. I think I saw that. That was it a documentary about
Yes.
poor white folks in West Virginia?
Yeah. I can't even talk about it because
basically say that about all of us hillbillies. We recognize, we're the joke of the world.
Appalachia.
Well, not just Appalachia, but on into Tennessee, Kentucky, Missouri, Arkansas.
I'm at the tail end of Appalachia.
When they do a program on TV, it's where we're the Beverly Hillbillies, we're the joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you try talking like this all the time.
Minnesota. You got that Norwegian charisma.
Yeah, but people think you talk like that and you don't.
Like, oh no.
Now, have you got a label for yourself there, Wasteland? You got your label?
I'd say I'm more of a leftist libertarian. So left wing, but very libertarian about it.
So you're part Bernie and part Rand Paul. Is that?
I guess part Rand Paul, more part Eugene Debs.
Eugene Debs.
Wow. Okay.
Well, now I like a fella who's not even. You said you're not 20 yet. You haven't turned 20. Is that what you said?
I recently turned 20.
You recently. I like a fella, 20-year-old who knows about Eugene Debs. That gives me some hope. I got hope now. You just gave me hope.
Good deal.
I needed some hope on a Friday. I appreciate that you are focused on history and West Virginia coal wars.
Well, the thing about West Virginia and the coal country was basically how dependent the local population. That was the only job. Either that is trying to scratch out a living on a hillside farm, which is just almost impossible. And if you went into the coal mines and stuff, it was dangerous. There's a good chance you could die. And if you didn't die, you get black lung disease and this all kinds of things, but it was the only job there. And then the coal companies had the advantage because, they had the money and they had the job offerings and they could, I don't know, just basically do what they wanted to.
Was it 60 Minutes or CBS Sunday Morning had a thing on all the people that are still there that have nothing and are trying to stay put, and they've got nothing, and now all the assistance is getting cut off. So there's no jobs, there's no nothing.
You know, the old Tennessee Ernie Ford song, what
16 tons?
yeah, what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt.
There you go, Craig, the closing song for today.
At the
Yeah. Was that Waste?
Yeah, with also how dangerous the jobs were, the coal mining was at the time. You also weren't getting paid in real money. You were getting paid in company script, and you could only use that money within the company towns. And
that's it. Another day older and deeper in debt.
Sold my soul to the company store.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
That's part of the song.
You had people not even getting paid, and people getting paid basically in monopoly money.
Yeah.
They couldn't.
Isn't that kind of Walmart's? Isn't that kind of Walmart's deal now? It's like they cash you work for them, and they cash your check, and you have to use their bank account, and then you shop there and spend all your money there at Walmart because they closed all the other businesses down in town.
Not the Walmart my sister works at.
Oh yeah.
She got her check and she can do it wherever she wants.
Well, that sounds like.
But you go ahead.
No, I know what you're saying.
I've not heard about that specifically, but it doesn't surprise me.
Well, that getting paid by the company currency, I mean, that sounds like that they were pioneering crypto. That's what crypto is. That was the first signs of cryptocurrency.
That's more tangible than crypto.
And it's tangential to the whole subject, but you know me and media, the movie for the area is October Sky, that is based on the anagram of that, Rocket Boys, and the way out being education. Get them out of the mines.
Oh. Well, I looked up the result. I was wondering what the result of the coal mine wars. A century of silence. The coal wars were a tactical disaster for the United Mine Workers. Membership plummeted from 50,000 to nearly zero. It wasn't until the New Deal and the Wagner Act that West Virginia miners finally won the legal right to organize. So that didn't turn out so well, huh?
Yeah. Well, you have machine guns, and hey, welcome to ICE.
Yeah.
Yeah, big government is not kind to people that insist on telling them they're wrong.
Do you mind me asking, Waste, how you voted in the last election in 2024? Did you vote?
I voted for Kamala Harris. I'm not fond of her, but I feel she was the lesser of two evils.
Fair.
Yeah. Because see, now men your age were the problem in that election because Democrats lost so many, and so many turned out who were traditionally non-voters that I really think when you look at the stats that it was men under 25 or so that decided that election because they just, it's pretty much at the last minute too, shifted to Trump. Now, can you explain, your friends, that age, why did that happen? Why did they flock to Trump, particularly suddenly like that at the last minute? I know Joe Rogan had a big influence on that vote, but can you explain it, Waste?
I've not really got friends that are, I mean, I not really, I guess, political in that way. I mean, or conservative. I mean, so. But speaking from that, I think it's mainly the right. The right had better marketing. They had more people going out and pushing for, young men to go out and vote, like Joe Rogan, Nick Fuentes, Andrew Tate, all these names on the right that are on all over social media telling, young men, go out and vote for Donald Trump. He'll fix all your problems.
Also Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, Charlie Kirk too. He was a big one. And you have a lot of their families here. You had whole families going out to vote for Donald Trump. And at least where I was, in a very rural area, like entire generations going out and voting for him.
Ugh.
And I think that's more so they were doing it because their families were doing it.
Well, I do you have a sense of where they are now, how they think it's turning out, the Trump administration, or are they?
I think a lot of them are fed up with it, but a lot of them, due to just how well the propaganda is working, they are still fond with it. Like,
they're just brainwashed, essentially.
Well, I mean, you mentioned Nick Fuentes, and I, not somebody I want to give a platform to that much, but the thing is, he has really turned on Trump. I'd be interested, Wasted, what you think of the impact of this, because listen to him talk here. It's pretty. He is totally off the Trump reservation.
This has to be the breaking point. This is the breaking point for the GOP.
Hang on, I got to get this on the stage, right?
You buried the Epstein files. There is no border.
Here he goes.
This has to be the breaking point. This is the breaking point for the GOP coalition. You buried the Epstein files. There is no border wall. You didn't deliver on mass deportations. You cut corporate tax rates for the rich by cutting Medicaid again. No infrastructure bill, no middle class tax cuts. You got to refund the tariffs. And now we're in a regime change war with Iran. That's the breaking point. I'm out. I'm done.
I don't know.
He said the other day, he was on InfoWars the other day, and he told Alex Jones, I am done. I'm voting Democratic. I don't care who it is. I will not vote for that man.
I think this will change.
He is still anti-Israel instead of being just anti-Bibi.
Well, and he thinks we're not doing enough for mass deportation. But anyway, what's your reaction? What do you think about that, Waste? I mean, losing Nick Fuentes make any difference with your age group? And
I think him saying that may make some level of difference. Maybe some people change their minds because of this, but just how broad and how strong the MAGA movement is. I don't think, one person turning against the movement specifically will affect it a whole lot, because you have what's her name? Candace Owens. A lot of people listen to her, and a lot of people have turned, she's been sort of turning against it. A lot of people are agreeing with her, and
is she the one having the fight with Erica Kirk?
Yes.
Candace Owens?
It's kind of a fun cat fight to watch.
Huh. What is their fight about?
Candace Owens thinks that Erica Kirk killed Charlie.
Oh God.
Or had him killed. Really? Well,
Seriously?
I mean, yeah.
I can see why.
I think all the fights you're seeing are just a simple indication that they realize Trump's almost dead.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. Yeah.
They're just biding their time.
Well, no, they're positioning themselves. It's safe. It has been proved now it's safe to criticize Trump. So they're positioning themselves to take over Trump's MAGA movement. And try to make political hay with it. And, for the rest of us who aren't part of that, get the popcorn out, sit back, and relax and enjoy.
I'm pretty
when I was younger, I used to be kind of very, I guess, involved in the MAGA movement. I used to listen to a lot of, Candace Owens, Blair White, Charlie Kirk, quite a few people. But after January 6th, it just kind of put a bad taste in my mouth.
Well, good for you. That I wish that had woke up more people, because I don't know what more it should have taken for some people to, and the lies they still believe about January 6th. I can't get over it. The things that I see.
Well, if there is a non-crazy sect of MAGA, I think that Marjorie Taylor Greene has already got it.
Yeah.
She made her move.
Yeah,
what do you think about JD Vance? Waste. What do you think of JD Vance?
He kind of creeps me out. Sometimes I have a good read on people, and that there's just something off with that man. Maybe
Is it the couch thing?
Well, not really the couch thing. It's like I feel like there's something shady about him, like more so than the rest of the MAGA movement. And I feel like within 10 years there will probably be a documentary about some awful thing he did.
He's a shapeshifter. Well, he probably did some awful thing with Peter Thiel.
He probably did.
Yeah, he doesn't have a side to an issue. He has a pentagon.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I'm a little like that. I don't know why I don't. He feels slimy, and I can't tell you why. And that's
I asked.
Personal.
He's a shapeshifter.
Yeah.
Y'all know Jim Webb. Jim Webb was senator from Virginia, and he ran for I was his communications director when he ran for president. And I mean, we knew we weren't going to win, but we just wanted to make a point. Anyway, before I guess the last election, when JD was, I asked Webb, he's an old Appalachian dude, and I said, when you think back to the Senate, and when you were in the Senate, I said, who would you want to have a fist fight with among the senators? And he didn't hesitate. And he said, JD Vance. He says, I hate that. Well, he said effer. But that's who Jeb Webb would throw a punch at if he had a chance.
Well, not only that, I think I can beat his ass.
Yeah, he probably thought that as well. Jim's is a tough dude. They based, the Rambo character, the TV movie. The guy that wrote that, he based that character on Jim Webb's Purple Heart citation, which if you read is phenomenal. I mean, he went into a cave or something there in Vietnam, and where they were shooting at him, and his side was losing, and because these guys were hiding in this cave or whatever, and he just took weapons in both arms and just charged in the cave and just started killing everybody. And that scene that is described in his Purple Heart is literally in the Rambo movie. So
I had never heard that about him.
Yeah. Anyway, boy, I got on a wild detour there, but sorry.
Right. I hate to say this about JD Vance, but I think my grandmother can whip his ass.
Well, we were talking about Appalachians and everything. The hillbillies, they were not pleased at all. And people think that, he'll get all the hillbilly vote because he wrote that. What is that movie? The book that he wrote?
Elegy.
Elegy. Well, I mean, from what I understand, the hillbillies were not a bit. They thought he was making fun of them with that book. That didn't impress them.
Well, we've got a lot of. We all know people that have moved to the city and come back and tell us how much better they are than the old folks back home, and that's JD Vance.
Well, I asked about JD Vance because to go back to your talk about the struggle for who leads MAGA is it's not just in the media, of course. There's a media vacuum, I think, for that, and then. But on the political side, who is going to take leadership of MAGA? And of course, JD's making a play for it, and he's got Kirk already endorsed him, right? And Turning Point's already endorsed. Well, I don't know if endorsed, but close to it. And then Rubio will make a play, and then I don't know what if Marjorie Taylor Greene, does she think she can run for president? Is that what she's thinking? Do we know?
I don't think so.
I think the MAGA movement already doesn't like her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I
I
sense
think
that.
the
I
ship
see
has
that. Man.
sailed. But
I
he
think
just said this
you've got to
morning
have
that Cuba is next. Cuba will fall next, and he's going to stick
Oh,
Rubio
great.
in Cuba.
Oh God, I
Yeah.
hope not.
I think you've got to have a Marjorie Taylor Greene that's a man.
You know who it is?
I can't see a woman
Massey.
taking over the MAGA movement.
The one I think to watch. What do you think of Josh Hawley there, Waste? We got.
That was me.
I'm familiar with the name, but I can't put a face to his name.
Yeah, Josh Hawley, senator from your state there, Jack.
Holly.
I would not put it past Josh Hawley to position himself. You know, he's still just way too much. He's too lightweight but because I don't think he can put in the I'm tough as hell that the MAGA loves.
Yeah.
But he's definitely positioned himself politically because he's not a traditional conservative. He's doing very much, he's almost talking like a liberal at times because he's very much positioned himself for the economic issues for the MAGA folks. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of anger. There's a lot of anger there in the MAGA movement that just has to do with basic economic issues for poor white folks.
Now we got Ala Towers here. Trump. Okay. You got anything else to say? Is that it?
I want a picture of
Trump. All right.
Yeah, I want a picture of him with his pom-poms.
So noted. We welcome conversation unless you just gonna do bumper stickers.
Have y'all seen that a lot of his movement are mad because his new Truth Social post where he was talking about, I forget the name of it, it was some bill he was passing, but he put the stipulation, no quote unquote, I don't know if I can say these words, but no transgender mutilation surgeries on children and he said without parents' consent. And because he said without parents' consent, his movement are mad at him for it because they want it banned entirely.
Well,
so he left the door open to transgender surgery if there is parents' consent, and they don't want that. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
So he's not hard enough.
Sometimes it's medically necessary, though. So law saying forbid it would be ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, he still puts out that narrative that kids are going to school and having sex changes done at school. That is not happening.
Yep.
And I can't believe people actually believe that. My monster-in-law
that was an ultimate distraction.
My monster-in-law texted me texted my husband asking us to pull my son out of public school because she believes that because he's on the spectrum that they will convince him to. Yeah. Are you kidding me, dude?
Well, that was a factor. They spent $40 million on college football TV in the 2024 campaign in the last month, or maybe it was 90 days. But anyway, the last month or so, they spent $40 million only on college football TV trying to reach young men on the transgender issue. And that was a powerful ad. I mean, that ad ended, she's for they, talking about Kamala, she's for they and we're for you. It was a pretty good tagline. It was actually a very effective ad. Marian Adelson paid for it with $40 million of her own money. And I think that had a big impact on at the end there, turning a lot of young men in particular toward Trump or against Kamala.
Yeah. I feel it's more just because of how few trans people there are in the United States. They're an easy.
It's like 1%, I think.
Yeah, it's 1% of the population. They're an easy group for the right to point at and demonize. And I mean, I have met quite a few people. I mean, even Thursday, I went out with a group of my friends, and all my friends, they're all trans women. So went out to a gay bar with them. I mean, obviously, I didn't drink because I can't drink yet, but still, they're not bad people at all, and they're being constantly demonized by the right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're
And of
fun
course,
people.
well, but then also, like, every time we have a mass shooting now, they automatically are like, oh, they're transgender. Every single one. Or they're non-binary, or just one of the labels they throw out, and then they find out, oh, no, they really weren't.
Well, Kansas has really gone after transgender people. They've got really tough laws now. I don't know if you heard about that too on your side of the border there, Jack, but they've gone after them, like with the driver's licenses. You have to have your
Well, I don't know if you've picked up on James Tallarico there, Wasteland, Texas. He has a great line in his stump speech where he says, transgender are 1% of the population. That's not the 1% we need to be worried about. We need to be worried about the 1% of billionaires who are ruining our country and to make money. That's the 1% we need to talk about. That's a great line.
Yeah, and I think you need to add in Tim Walsh's statement is mind your own damn business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's not hurting you.
No.
Well, now, talking about drinking in Alabama, do you still have to get in Alabama bars? You have to get the little airplane, the little, what do they call them? The little bottles for your drinks instead of pouring it in. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Because I'm not making sense.
I'm not sure.
I've never been to Alabama, so I don't know.
I know in Texas we used to have. I was going to say in Texas we used to have memberships because they had dry counties, but they had bars, and so you could go and buy a membership, and then your first drink was free, and then you could drink. It was like a club. That's how they got around it.
I lived in Alabama with the John Glenn campaign, 84. Anyway, I just remember that you go to the bars, you could, if you ordered a drink, they would give you whatever you're mixing it with, and then they'd give you the little airplane bottle, and you had to mix your own drink. And I never understood why they did that. Why that? But that was a law at the time in Alabama.
You cannot explain liquor laws.
Yeah.
I'm
just curious if they still did that.
I mean, in Minnesota, we have grocery stores, and then we have liquor stores.
Yeah.
They are not combined. So last year when I was in Arizona, I was in shock when we went to the grocery store and they have a whole liquor area. And I was like, what? Like, this is not good.
Texas right before
South Carolina or one of those out there where they can't advertise, the liquor stores can't. And so a friend of mine was talking, he was asking somebody, said, well, where's the nearest liquor store? And they said, right across the street. And he said, where? And he said, and I guess they paint themselves a certain color. So everybody knows it's a liquor store.
Interesting.
Yellow.
Now it may not be that way now, but this was 30 years ago or 40 years ago when he was talking about it.
Yeah, Texas probably less than 10 years ago. In North Texas anyway, Dallas County, there was no alcohol in grocery stores, and man, people fought it tooth and nail because they didn't like what it would bring to the area. But we got beer and wine in the grocery stores only because apparently that won't make you crazy. You can't drink enough of that. But there's no hard alcohol. But we did once the alcohol came in, there was a lot more crime in the area.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird.
I will say it was weird. Like, going to a gay bar, I expected it to be more wild, I guess, but it felt like being around a church group.
Well, I in my coming out years going to gay bars and everything, it was the only place you could actually congregate with other gay people and everything. And over the years, in recent years, that has totally changed, so that a lot of gay bars have been going out of business because now it's more open in regular bars where gay and straight people, party together, which is probably a better, healthier thing. But I know a lot of older gays bemoan that fact, thinking that, that's, we're just assimilating. It's the old assimilation thing, and, but I know a lot of gay bars, but I think in the Deep South, like where you are in Alabama, it's still kind of the old way. I mean, it's like the gays still have to congregate in their own bars to have a social life.
And growing up in California, it was very much everybody knows and nobody talks about it. So as a teenager, I could go into the House of Ivy during the day and all the kids would be in there drinking Cokes. And as soon as the sun went down, it turned into a gay bar.
Oh, really?
I mean, in Minneapolis, we have the gay 90s, and that has always been, I mean, that was where you went for drag shows and everything. And
it's kind of like a Western type theme.
Yes.
Right downtown. I know
and
that place.
Yeah. So I went there
90s,
as they used
big,
to have teen nights.
It's a big place, isn't it?
Yeah. They used to have teen nights. And so when all the clubs in downtown Minneapolis had teen nights. I will tell you that. So I think I was 18 and I went with a couple of my girlfriends and we had a blast. No alcohol, no nothing, just having a grand old time dancing and lots of older men trying to get into your pants, but we just
hey,
it was nasty.
None of your business is back in the house. Welcome back, Nunya. I would rather let a drag queen babysit my kids than have Donald Trump be anywhere near her.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah, another J6er went to jail too. Did you see?
Yeah.
Another J6er sexually abused a couple of kids after he was pardoned, and now he's back in jail. I think so.
Oh wow!
And now he's back in jail.
Winter,
and
Winter,
Winter,
you're almost late. Winter's in Germany. She gets her time zones mixed up. And then there is a whole country where you can drink beer and wine with 16 and liquor with 18, and the crime rate is lower than the USA.
Oh wow, you can drink at 16.
That was my sister's amazement when she went to Germany in the army. Is you could go to McDonald's and get a beer.
Yeah, my mom said that too when she was in Germany.
16. And you say Waste, you said in Alabama it's still 21. It's still, you have to be 21 to drink even beer. Even beer.
I didn't know there was different.
I think that's pretty much across the U.S. now. It used to be. 21? There used to be a lower drinking age.
Used to be 18.
But Mothers Against Drunk Driving got that all changed.
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, they drink like fish.
Well, at 16, you can drink with a parent present. And then if you're married, you can drink.
Yeah.
Like you're 16 and you get married.
Used to let you drink 3-2 beer, a really low alcohol beer, if you were 18.
Well, and that's what we did so when I was in southern Nebraska when growing up, so I got grandfathered in. They raised the drinking age to 21 2 days after I turned 18, so I still got to drink. But we would drive to Kansas for 3-2 beer.
Yep. Same here. Hey, I would come down. I was up living in Kansas City when I was 18. I graduated from high school, and I would bring down a couple of cases of 3-2 beer. Man, I was a party guy.
Fast interjection for winter. We go to daylight saving time this coming weekend, so we will be an hour ahead. So just
we
your
do.
reference and joining
When's
in.
that?
They do.
Yeah.
When's that happening? Is that
Sunday.
happening soon?
This weekend.
God.
This weekend.
Saturday night it goes 1 hour ahead.
So I gotta change my non-digital clocks. What was that song that we were talking about about the West Virginia when we were talking about West Virginia coal mines?
16 tons.
16 tons.
Yeah.
Tons.
Tennessee Ernie Ford.
Oh, that I couldn't find it because I was typing in Tennessee Williams. So,
Count on a hot tenor.
Tennessee Ernie
Ford.
Okay, yeah, okay. I'm not on YouTube for this. All right. Surely he's not copyrighted. YouTube police aren't going to get me for that, are they?
Now, Tennessee Ernie Ford is, or at least I know is, some of his music is copyrighted.
Oh,
It could be
copyrighted.
Like, I know his version of Union Dixie is copyrighted.
Is that right?
Old Crow Medicine Show, Union Made. That's probably copyrighted too. Old Crow Medicine.
Oh, are you a fan of Old Crow Medicine Show?
I love Old Crow
them.
Medicine Show.
Oh, I love them a lot.
Yeah,
Oh,
so Union Made, that's a good song.
That is.
Yeah. And I don't know who did it first. Do you know who did it first, Wasteland?
Uh,
A long time ago. Somebody else, I think somebody did that before them. I
I
think that
know,
was,
I know it came from the IWW.
Is that a Woody Guthrie song?
maybe.
Maybe. I know it's in the IWW songbook, and that was published in the 30s.
Oh, really?
Yeah, with Solidarity Forever and, a few other.
Because I think the first ones I remember
It is Woody
popular
Guthrie.
copy of it was Weavers. But,
Yeah, Woody Guthrie and the Weavers. But it was original Woody Guthrie song, yeah.
So y'all change your time at a different time in Germany, Winter? You're saying you do yours a few weeks later. Huh, that's crazy. It's weird.
Well, it's like what is it, Indiana that does half the state does and half the state doesn't.
And Arizona doesn't observe it.
It's crazy. And there was somebody in Congress that wanted to change it to a half an hour change, split the difference and do it as a half an hour permanent change. A half an hour.
yeah, really, to really mess our brains
Oh
up.
my!
Right?
That was just.
Alabama is an hour behind Eastern. Is that right? Is it where you central? Or is it split? Is Alabama split?
No, it's central.
It's central.
It's all central. It's all central. Okay.
Yay, Central Time.
It's
Well,
11 o'clock. No.
Hey, thanks for hopping in there, West. We enjoyed your conversation.
Yeah, come back.
And I learned. I learned about syndicalism. I'm going to learn more about it. I like it.
Please join us over on Trail Mix.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but please come back. That was great.
All right.
Yeah, and there's our address for where we talk off air
into the wee hours of the night.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah. We never did get around to the Middle East today. We'll have to try it again.
We got started, but you know what? It's not going anywhere. It'll be there tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's been there for 100 years, you know.
But Wes, I appreciate. Yeah. Well, we do this. We keep it to an hour so we don't wear ourselves out, and so we just do it an hour, but we do it every day for an hour at 11 a.m. And but now Jamie's got me all confused about the time change. I mean,
It'll still be 11 a.m.
It'll still be.
It'll just be tired for a little bit.
It'll be for like 10. That's all.
Load your phone. That'll let you know.
And so we'll go out here with Tennessee Tennessee Ernie Ford. I put these at the end. That way, if the YouTube police crack down on me, we just snip it out at the end, and that way, doesn't affect.
Well, I hope you all have a great day.
Yeah.
You too.
All right, thank you.
Bye.
Thank
All
you,
right,
Wes.
bye everybody.
Come back and join us over here on trailmix.cc also.
Yeah, stay safe in those storms, Jack.
Be happy to see you there. Okay, here comes Tennessee, Ernie Ford.
People say a man is made out of mud. A poor man's made out of muscle and blood. Muscle and blood and skin and bones. A mind that's weak and a back that's strong. You load the 16 tons. What do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you call me, 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store. I was born one morning when the sun didn't shine. I picked up my shovel and I walked to the mine. I loaded 16 tons, the number 9 coal, and the straw boss said, well, bless my soul, you load 16 tons. What do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you call me, 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store. I was born one morning, it was drizzle and rain. Fighting and trouble are my middle name. I was raised in the canebrake by an old mama lion. Can't no high-toned woman make me walk the line. You load the 16 tons. What do you give? Another day older and deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you call me, 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store. If you see me coming, better step aside. A lot of men didn't, a lot of men died. One fist of iron, the other of steel. If the right one don't get you, then the left one will. You load the 16 tons. What do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you call me, 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store.